Welcome to the Florida Homesteader podcast, where we bring the pages of the magazine to life, sharing all the stories, the skills, and the spirit of homesteading across the Sunshine State. From backyard gardens to family farms and everything in between, we are here to inspire, encourage, and celebrate the Florida homesteading way of life. I'm Jamie Bateman, your host and editor-in-chief of the Florida Homesteader magazine, and we're so glad that you joined us today. So folks, go grab you some iced tea and let's jump into today's podcast chat. Hey, welcome back to the Florida Homesteader podcast. My name is Jamie, and y'all are in for a treat today. One of the things that we wanted to start doing in our magazine is highlighting kids who are passionate about ag, especially throughout the state of Florida. And in this section, we call it Kidsteaders. Well, today I have the pleasure of introducing you to an amazing Kidsteader that has really set the bar high for others that are going to be following in her footsteps. Friends, may I welcome to our show, Miss Emma Paterson. How are you, Emma?
Hi, Miss Bateman. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So, Emma, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I'm 14. I'm a freshman, and currently I serve as our Orange County FFA Federation Sentinel. I've been in FFA for about, I think this is my 4th year. I've been an officer for the past 4 years, and I did 4-H. And that's pretty much all about me.
Now, you grew up, though, with a family who's been very big in FFA, 4-H, ag, all of that stuff, right?
Yes, ma'am, I have. Luckily enough.
Now, yes, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your family members and everything that they've done, because you've got some brothers, too, right?
I do. Well, to start off, my great-grandpa, he was a ag advisor at our local middle school, which my mom now teaches at. My mom, she grew up showing pigs, so did my dad. He did some proficiencies. He was on and off through FFA. My older brother, Hendrix, he competed. He showed livestock, did multiple CDs and LDEs, and a lot of titles under FFA and 4-H. I have another brother, Huck. He is only a year older than me. He's also an FFA. He loves building trucks, showing livestock, and competing in CDEs.
Very cool.
And that's pretty much. That's it. Well, my grandpa, he also was a dairy inspector. They grew up on the dairy up by Disney World, so that's it.
I think that was pretty cool. I remember when I met you, you told me about your grandpa. And so was the dairy there when Disney was there or no? I don't remember.
Yes.
It was,
Disney
okay.
had already been, it wasn't necessarily too large yet. It was still Disney. It was a few decades ago, not too long ago. My grandma had sold the property off to Disney. We're not sure what it is right now. It probably is a parking lot, but That's all right.
Yeah.
So Disney definitely started before my dad's dairy farm, but it's been incorporated in it.
So you grew up doing ag, and your family, are you still obviously you're very active in everything that you're doing, and your family is still active in ag, correct?
Yes, ma'am. My mom is currently where my great-grandpa taught. My mom is an ag teacher there. She's taught high school and about 2 other schools. Me and my brother are both very incorporated in ag and love it. Totally love it.
So you are 14 years old. So share with us a little bit about what kind of animals throughout your time so far have you shown over the past few years?
Well, firstly, I started off with my bantam chickens when I was a junior. I moved on. I wanted to do a market animal really badly to be like my big brother. he was showing steers at the time, so I had gotten a pig. I enjoyed the pig a lot. I was like, man, I really want to do a breeding animal as well, so I had gotten a Bordeaux. After that, I had went back to pigs for a few years, and then I was like, I kind of grew out of it. I was continually doing chickens throughout this entire time. So now I did cows for a few years. I did a few steers and a few heifers, and now I'm rounding out to sheep, which I'm totally in love with.
And that's where, when you introduced yourself to me a few months ago, that's when you really hooked me. The fact that you were showing sheep is so cool. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is that sheep process. So tell me about your sheep. What makes you so passionate about them?
Well, really, I always try to I love the bonds that you can create with sheep. Sheep are honestly like big dogs. Once, once I started showing my sheep, I had just got my sheep, and it was honestly just such a great experience. He was literally like walking a dog on a leash. He was like my best friend for a very long time. When showing pigs, it was very on and off attachment. Those sheep are really just they're like Velcro babies. I love them. They stick to your side.
Hmm. They do. How many sheep have you shown so far?
Well, last year was my first year, and I had bought in 3 wethers up at Nail in Louisville, Kentucky. I had sold 2, one for my chapter and then one for myself, and I currently have a Dorper wether left. He's just a pasture ornament. He hangs out. Best friends with my brother's steer. They lay together.
That's cute.
I had bought a I had just bought a ewe in about Aprilish. She is a December born. I bought her from California. Her name's Callie. And then I had bought 2 more ewes in May. Their name were Gator and I think I named her Natty. I sold Natty
Cute.
though a few weeks ago to a friend of ours whose lamb had just passed away.
Oh.
But I just got a new wether. His name's Charlie. I'm totally in love with him. He's the sweetest. In a few weeks, I'll be heading up to Nail and buying more wethers.
When you say buying, you're the one who's doing this. You've started like your own little business. So not only are you into ag, but you're also a little blossoming entrepreneur, that you've got your own little business going. So what you show and the earnings that you get from your shows, you turn around and use that money to buy more animals, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I've been saving up for the few years. Every project leads up to the next one, especially when I switched from cattle to sheep. I loved that. I got a lot
Yes.
of
Oh,
sheep
I
off the
bet.
cow.
How many are you going to be showing in this year's fair?
This year, I'm planning on showing at the Florida State Fair, the Central Florida Fair, and possibly a new fair coming up.
Okay.
Um, at the Florida State Fair, I think I'm going to show either 1 or 2 ewes and about 2 wethers.
Okay.
At the Central Florida Fair, I'll be showing about 2 ewes, maybe 3, and then a wether. And then at this new upcoming show, I'm planning on showing about a wether, maybe a ewe.
I'm going to need to get those dates specifically for the Florida State Fair, because I want to come and see you in action. That would be so cool. I've seen the goat shows, I've seen the pig shows, I've seen the steer shows, but to see somebody like showing a sheep, that would be really cool to watch. That would be fun. Now you've got some ewes and you've got your wethers. Do you sell those off afterwards, or what is your plan of those that you're showing?
Well, my ewes, I plan on breeding them for a breeding project. I want to start my own sheep breeding business. Though my wethers, I'm going to raise them. I got them when they're about just weaned off their mamas. And then I'm going to sell them at fair for some profit to buy some more next year.
What kind of sheep are you showing?
Well, I do more meat sheep rather than hair sheep. Though I do have a Dorper wether. Most of my wethers and ewes are all meat sheep. I have a piebald ewe, which is a Dorset Advantage. I have a Dorset Advantage Weather Charlie. Gator is a Hampshire Cross, and that's about it. Fatty McGee is a Dorper.
So you mentioned you have the meat sheep and there's hair sheep also. Is the hair sheep, is that the kind that you can shave them down to get the wool content type of thing, or is it a different type of consistency in the hair?
Well, when it comes to hair sheep and meat sheep, they're pretty similar. They're both sheep, but meat sheep are mostly are dual purpose. They have the wool that you shave off to make clothing, which are like tight curls mostly, and then they have the meat. Though when you come to a hair sheep, you can't really sell them for meat. There's a few that you can, but most breeds cannot. And most of them have almost hair like dogs or just normal other mammals.
Yeah.
Like they have actual hair.
That's what I thought. That's what I had remembered hearing before, is that the hair sheep has a different hair texture than what the normal, what you would think a sheep would have.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So your meat sheep, the ones that you have, do you have to shear them also?
Well, since we live in Florida, it gets really hot. I shave all my sheep normally every few weeks or so, just to keep the heat off their back. Most of my shows are spread out between the months, but a lot of them are close together. So I would shave them, and then I'd be going to a show one weekend, and the next I'm going back to another show. So I kind of just keep them either skin shaved and let a little bit grow out, but mostly they stay short. Nothing grows very long.
What do you do with the wool or the hair when you shave it off? Do you try to repurpose that, or does that just go into a compost pile?
Well, sometimes it does, sometimes.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I shave them, I like to either sell the wool to people I know who are also homesteaders, so they can make yarn and make their clothing. Though wool is also a very good to plant with. It's very good for that. So I like to give it to my mom, and she uses for a middle school chapter. They like to plant with it.
I was talking with somebody and just the other day who raises dairy sheep on their property, and she uses their wool that they shave theirs with for their garden. And she said it makes a great mulch.
It sure does. I love that.
Yeah.
It really repurposes. It saves us. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So I mentioned that I was talking with another friend over in Cocoa who does this, but another friend who happens to be a huge sheep advocate, known throughout the country, and she's in Kentucky. And I was telling her, I was telling her all about you, and she's fascinated. She can't wait for this podcast to come out because she wants to meet you. So it was.
Tell her I love to meet her. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right, so you do this because you enjoy it, but if I remember correctly, you have a mission in mind because you really wanted to educate other kids on showing sheep, specifically in Florida, and what that means for the ag community in Florida. Is that correct?
Yes, this summer a teacher friend had reached out, and she's holding this ranch. And at the ranch is about kindergarten up to about 5th or 6th grade, and it's a homesteader camp. They teach kids all about horse riding and crafts and how to make things from scratch. But she had asked me to come do a sheep segment for all the weeks. So I had brought my ewe Callie back when she was little, and I had shown kids how to groom, how to shave them, how to show fit them, how to wash, how to show. They loved it. It was an amazing experience. I met so many great people. And honestly, my sheep loved the attention. They were soaking it all up.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
What is something that you love doing when you get to share this with others? What is the one thing that you walk away with just saying, "Gosh, that was so fun"? Or is it the whole thing?
It's the whole thing. But honestly, I love just getting to showing people what other segments of agriculture is, that's not just food and cows. It's also a lot of other animals, just like sheep. The sheep industry is very small in Florida, and I love to shine light on it, especially to urban people.
What is it that you want people to know more about when it comes to sheep?
But something I want people to learn more about when it comes to sheep is that they're not just clothing and meat, though that is a big portion. Farmers actually like to use sheep as a secondary animal when they have for cattle operations. When they have operations, they use sheep as a secondary animal for when they rotate fields. While the cows are on one pasture, the sheep are on the other ones when their manure is currently fertilizing the grass, growing it large for the cattle to come back and graze back on it. So it's great for rotational grazing.
Perfect.
For nearly 70 years, Seifert Feed Company has been nourishing Florida's farms big and small. Family owned and rooted in Okeechobee, Seifert Feed Company continues to serve the heart of Florida ag with integrity, experience, and feed that you can trust. From cattle to chickens, goats to game birds, Seifert Feed is trusted by generations who care about quality nutrition and healthy animals. Visit seifertfeed.com. That's seifertfeed.com to learn more or stop by their Okeechobee mill today. And from all of us here at the Florida Homesteader, thank you to Seifert Feed Company for supporting Florida's farmers, ranchers, and homesteaders.
So you mentioned a little bit about advocating for the state or advocating to the state on the importance of sheep. You did a really cool trip and you went to Washington, D.C., and that was part of the FFA program, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a very great field trip.
So tell me all about that, because girl, how were you 14 then, or were you 13? How old were you when you went on that trip?
It was actually a birthday present. My mom had asked me if I wanted to go back in December. My birthday is May 19th, and I had just taken her up on the deal. It was a week after my birthday, and I loved it entirely. But
nice.
Yeah, I was just
so you were 14.
14. Yep.
You, folks, if you know anything about the legislation, you know that it's not always the easiest thing to get in contact with your representative, your senator. They're working, they are actively out there. But Miss Emma made a trip up to DC, and you had that opportunity to meet with a congressman, wasn't it?
Yes. Though he may be from our hometown, I got to meet with Congressman Webster up in his office in the Capitol. It was an amazing experience, and we got to discuss a lot about ag education, especially in Florida, and how really it affects these urban kids, how it affects urban areas.
What was his response to your, I guess you'd kind of call it your platform? I mean, you were there advocating. You were, as a student in ag, telling this congressman, hey, this is pretty important, not only ag in Florida, but ag in our schools in Florida. So how receptive was he to that conversation?
He honestly he's all about ag. He's very ag incorporated, and we were very lucky to have that. He loved having the sheep involved. He was very interested in the sheep. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, we did have a few other kids with us from Florida, and like my friend, she wants to be an agricultural lawyer, which that intrigued him a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to speak a lot about what we want to do in the future, especially when it comes to politics and being in the Capitol. But it was great being able to advocate with them, not just about sheep, but about what the future is for Florida agriculture.
To be able to be at that platform where you were at your age, and advocate in such a capacity is a huge accomplishment. And I know that that's not something that you took lightly, and that you honored that opportunity, but just the impression that I know that you left on him was huge, especially with the sheep. I mean, you hear of kids doing everything with pigs and hogs, and the chickens and the steers, but not very often, or the goats in our area, but not very often on the sheep. So I know you grabbed his attention on that one. That is so neat. So you mentioned your friend who wants to do ag or be an ag attorney. How about you? What are your goals with this?
Well, what I want to do is, like I said, I felt I've had head over boots with sheep. I want to be an artificial inseminator, which basically means I selectively breed sheep. I want to be able to further the genetics in sheep. Not only be a veterinarian, I want to be a large animal vet because I can't do that full time. Though being able to AI and breed sheep to where the genetic quality is better makes agriculture and the sheep industry so much better. It improved. That's really what's been improving it.
And
There's only been about 3 vets in Central Florida. It's very hard to get a reach in them. And I really want to be the 4th. I want to be able to bring more agriculture to Florida and more livestock when there's more vets. It makes it easier for people to be able to own livestock when they know they have someone that can heal them when they get sick.
right,
So I want to be able to
absolutely.
do that.
We have the boar goats, and it is very interesting when you tap into this market of understanding all of the components around keeping your goat healthy. And we want to get sheep, but I do want to get dairy sheep, but it's that same thing, knowing the pastures that they graze on, knowing what our climate, how they can sustain in our climate. So part of all of what you're hoping to accomplish is going to be able to keep these breeds growing in the state that kind of acclimates back to Florida's heat, humidity, and our seasons and stuff like that, and our grasses and such.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout your time with FFA and 4-H, I'm going to make you brag on yourself here for a second. You've won quite a few awards also.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've been very grateful for it all. It's been a lot of hard work and a lot of hours in the barn, but I've been lucky enough to win a few titles.
So what has it meant to you to have those titles underneath your belt?
Well, it's not all about the titles, of course. It's about
Right.
how you got there. Though being able to win it proves to you why you're doing this almost. It just kind of keeps you going. Like when I'm feeling sad about this, I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna further myself in this industry. I'm not gonna get there. And then I go and get it doesn't have to be a big title. It's just something, just a little bit of recognition. It just keeps me going. It just improves. It shoots me off. I got that.
Nice. What is one of your proudest moments through those accomplishments? Obviously, you kind of, in a way, you said it. You get to a down point, but then you kind of pull yourself back up again, and you realize what you're doing. But is there one moment that you can think of throughout that whole process that you just look back and say, "Gosh, that was so cool"?
Honestly, it was being my first year in sheep. I always struggled being a first year and having to learn a whole new skill set when it comes to showing a different form of livestock. And being able to win reserve champion at my local fair it showed me such a different view. That definitely increased my passion for it, but just winning even reserve at my first year really just made me very impressed with what this industry has done with me.
Very nice. Now, showing sheep and FFA and everything, this isn't all that you do. You're a pretty active girl. You have some sports activities underneath your belt too, right?
I did soccer for a long time, especially last year. I did it for about 6 years. And I did volleyball on and off for about 2 years. Then this year I just started a full-time sport. I just started rowing at our local our local rowing club.
You so between showing your sheep, taking care of your sheep, having your little business that you have that you're doing, and your class or your rowing team that you're now on, and then obviously you have school. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to speak out of turn here, but I'm pretty sure you got some pretty decent grades too, right?
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
5.0 GPA.
So
I do, yeah, academics play a big part. Academics over most things.
yeah,
A lot.
absolutely. But the fact that you're such a sweetheart, first of all, and but you are so active in so many things and you're excelling in so many things. I can literally see the writing on the wall how successful you're going to be as you get older. God's going to definitely bless you, and that's it's so cool to see. We get to say that we knew her back when, because you're doing a great job. And I think I told your mom one time that she's not even my kid and I'm proud of her. So I can just imagine how proud your mom and dad are of you.
Thank you.
So what motivates you most to keep working and doing all these things that you're doing?
Honestly, most things that motivate me is I may get home from a bad day of school, or I'm really tired and exhausted after practice, and I get back in the barn and I get to see my sheep. And honestly, that just keeps me going. Being able
Love
to
it.
have like a best friend that just sticks with you through everything is honestly the best experience I've ever had.
Yep,
My sheep really keep
absolutely.
me going. It keeps my grades up. It keeps me wanting to do my sport. It keeps me wanting to go to things.
Hmm.
It really improves. It improves me.
That is awesome. They are great therapists.
They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. What are the names of your sheep that you have now again? I think you just mentioned it, but
I have Fatty McGee, Callie, Gator, and Charlie.
I remember you telling me about Fatty McGee, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the name is perfect. you have you have some creative names. You've mentioned it already, but your goals in the next few years. You obviously you want to get into graduating high school, which I don't see that being a problem at all. Um,
Yeah.
what is your next steps after high school?
Well, my next steps after high school is I've been thinking about college a lot recently. And I've been very interested in UF my whole life because I never really wanted to leave Florida. So I've been looking at vet schools all over the state, and I want to go to my top three are Cornell, UF, and Texas A&M. Those have really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
So I want to go to college, and once I'm gonna graduate with my AA for high school, so I'm trying to walk in with about a little less years for college,
Hmm.
but kind of want to stick to my hometown. Kind of want to go
Stay
big.
close.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Well, you've got plenty of time to figure that out. So you're a dual enrolled student.
Yes, I actually just took the PSAT to be able to apply about yesterday.
Did
Yeah.
you really? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well, I know you're going to do well at that if you haven't already found it out. So not just doing your high school classes, but the dual enrollment, for those who don't know, that is an opportunity where high schoolers are able to participate and or partake in classes that are college related. So when they graduate high school, in fact, a majority of students when they graduate, they're graduating with their AA degree before they graduate with their high school degree. I've seen that happen many times. So that's going to be cool for you to be able to do that for sure.
Yeah,
So
it's on. Yeah.
yeah. So, what kind of advice would you give? You mentioned that you had the opportunity to work this summer with these kids at these camps. What kind of advice would you give kids who are listening or watching you on YouTube when this comes out, or reading you in the magazine, or watching you at the state fair, and they come up to you and they say, Miss Emma, Miss Emma, what kind of advice would you give them on starting out, whether in FFA or 4-H or anything?
Well, really, I would encourage them to really join FF, just agriculture in general. Get involved. Do anything you can. Whether it's even small amounts, just being able to go to one simple meeting or showing just one animal, that's okay. Just get involved, get into it, learn what you want to do and how you want to impact this this community and work up to it. Find out what you want to do, set goals for yourself, and really, really put towards achieving them.
Just take that first
Enjoy it
step.
while you do it, though. Enjoy it.
Yes, absolutely enjoy it. I love that. So who has inspired you the most on your journey?
I've honestly got to say my mom. So she might have been my ag teacher for only a year. It's
Mm-hmm.
really been a different experience being able to have my mom in the community with me.
Yeah.
Not only that, I gotta say all my family, my brothers too. My brother really set the bar high. I love trying to follow in his footsteps, but really gotta say family.
Yeah, that is so special. And I can see that with all of y'all getting to know you over these past few months. So you've got a lot under your belt. You've learned a lot of really cool things. Is there one skill that you have yet to learn that you are just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to learn this? Whether it's farming, homesteading, or with your sheep or anything like that.
I've got to say, even though I really want to be a vet, I feel as though I don't know as much as I would like to learn, as
Mm-hmm.
I already know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really liked. I'm gonna compete in our HOSA club at school. And they have this amazing veterinary science contest, as well as FFA. I'm planning
Mm-hmm.
on competing there, trying to learn a little bit more about veterinary medicine, and trying to get more involved with it. Though vet is a very hard thing, but I really want to learn more about it and start trying to learn what to know when I get there, what I want to do. Especially when it comes to AI. I want to be able to do this April. I might come visit our local AI geneticist and maybe
Nice.
watch her be able to AI a few lambs, being able to
Mm-hmm.
get that hands-on experience and learning our new ways.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. One of our recurring columnists that we have in the magazine, he's a retired vet and he's done it for 50 years. Yeah, and he's got some fun stories to tell. So you'll have to follow along because he's going to be in every single issue of the magazine. He's going to share different things about just taking care of your animals on your farm, how to do more of a holistic approach to animal care and just what that means as far as more of a natural remedy versus antibiotics or stuff like that. So there's a time and a place for it. I don't want to say that there's not. There is, but he just has that really good information that he's going to be sharing out too. So I think you'll like him. He's funny.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna read that.
Yeah, it'll be good. All right, so I've got one more question for you. What does ag in Florida mean to you?
I've gotta say, ag in Florida really means to me. It kind of means a future to me in a way. It may be a lot of urban areas in Florida, and ag may not be as big as it used to be. Though even the small chapters that still keep it rural, really just really like impressed me. Just being able to see like real farming, all like up at our cattle farm. It's a little up north Florida. Seeing all the fields of corn, I saw a sorghum field, and I've never seen that before, even though we live in a little bit urban area. Just being able to see what urban agriculture and rural areas look like compared to what we now live in, it really is, it's different. It's a lot different.
It is a lot different. Yeah. And I think you've really captured in that statement what a lot of people are seeing and feeling also. They would agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Emma, this has been such a fun conversation to have with you. I need to get those dates because I want to come and see you at the fair. Folks, if you're going to be out at those fairs, you're going to need to go and go cheer Emma on, as well as all of our kids that are in the ag industry showing their animals, whether it's FFA or 4-H. Emma, we are so proud of you and we are so excited. You are our first Kidsteader in the Florida Homesteader magazine. Very, very proud of you. And I can't wait to see all of the great things that God is going to do in your life. You're off to an amazing start, young lady.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yes. All right. Well, we will talk with you soon.
Talk to you soon. See you later.
Okay. Thank you.
That's what homesteading in Florida means, and that's the story that we're proud to share in the Florida Homesteader. Thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, share this episode with a friend, leave us a rating, and check out our magazine, the blog, and our YouTube channel for even more Florida homestead inspiration. Until next time, keep growing, keep preserving, and keep the homesteading spirit alive. Y'all come back now.